So when he was young, he worked with disabled kids, and he, liked helping. He wanted to help. Then he needed help, had a stroke, had a devastating stroke, left him without speech, without the ability to walk. He recovered. He recovered a lot of his function, but, to think that now he's gotten back to a place where he fundraises for the Prouty. He fundraises for others. He doesn't think of himself as being disabled. He thinks about how can he help other people. He uses his skills and his abilities to give back. And he's inspirational because he hasn't given up on himself, but he also has helped other people.
My name is Jim Knight. I am an engineer, so I'm going to, and I tend to talk with hesitation, is what you will notice. 4 years ago, I discovered I have prostate cancer, and it's stage 4.
Okay, my name is Ann Carper. I live in Hanover, New Hampshire, and we moved up here from Washington, D.C. in 2020.
Good. And my name is Beth McKinnon, and I'm Ann's partner.
So in June 2020, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I found it myself, so I always tell women that they need to do their breast exams, which I never really did very much, but I found this myself.
I've wanted to continue writing as long as I can. So I also have a little trouble with balance.
Yeah.
So that's why I got the trike.
Good.
And I'm getting older. I'm 80, and
Wow.
so I have a motor on my trike. Both my parents died of cancer. My sister has breast cancer. My wife, 15 or 20 years ago, had cancer and a major operation to get over it, but it seems never to have come back, so we're grateful for that.
We were up here at half the time, but we went back to DC, and I had all my care there, and I never really had any interaction with the healthcare system other than routine things. I think some organization, I guess it was the National Cancer Institute, but they had people, if you had questions, they would pair you with someone. So I had a couple questions about lymphedema. I was really scared about that, and also the radiation. So the woman talked to me on the phone a few times and told me what to expect, and calmed me down actually. And then she lived nearby just coincidentally, so I did see her a couple times. But yeah, it's really nice how just talking to someone who's been through it. And I mean, some people had worse cases, so they wouldn't, sure. I don't know, but I was lucky, and she was very helpful. So luckily, everything was perfect. I was, did all the tests. I had 2 lumpectomies. I had radiation. I didn't have any kind of, I had clean margins. I didn't have lymphedema. All the side effects I was afraid of, I didn't have. I finished my radiation November 2020, and now I just go to regular follow-up. So, so I feel like I'm fine, and I had a very positive experience, and I also feel like I was very lucky. I wasn't working, I didn't have kids, I had easy access to health care. So I feel like, I just feel extremely lucky, and so this is an easy way to just help other people who, will need the kind of help that I have, which was readily available to me. Exercise. So my husband one day said he went to a gym, and so I just come with me and we'll see what the membership was. And sat down, got a trainer, started working out, and that really helped.
Yeah, good.
Helped your body, your mind. You could start thinking more clearly. And that was 2010, and here we are, 2023. So, and I feel great. I think having my in-house breast cancer survivor helped me a lot, because I was with her when Beth had cancer the second time, and she was so matter-of-fact about it that it didn't seem to me like a big, scary, frightening thing. I think I have a positive attitude, and I just felt like, I couldn't do anything about it anyway, so I was just going to do what they told me to do and hope everything worked out well, which it has.
Certain mantras. The one thing that I did learn was I learned how to not worry. When I was going through all the diagnosis and you're going through testing after testing and you're waiting, somehow at the very beginning of the waiting period, I was like, all right, 7 days. I'm just going to go do what I do. And 7 days will come and then we'll find out more information. So I learned not to worry. It's not productive. It doesn't change anything.
You know, I got a lumpectomy, then I needed to have a mastectomy. Then I needed to have chemotherapy, so that was probably the hardest part, the chemo. And then in 2015, in the other breast, I had cancer. Probably could have had a lumpectomy, but I just opted for another mastectomy. I found this organization, like lesbians with breast cancer at the time, and then it was all kinds of cancer. And you know, so they would sometimes bring meals or whatever. In this organization, there were African American women, and they were diagnosed later and everything, and so their end results were often not as good. So then the organization tried to focus more, with outreach in various communities. And so as part of that group, there was like a dance kind of session where other people who had cancer got together.
We belong to a senior group out of the New London Senior Center.
Yeah.
And every Tuesday they get together. And in the summer it's usually kayaking.
Good.
And in the winter it's hiking or snowshoeing or something of that sort. You have it on your calendar. You don't have to get up in the morning and decide. And that senior group also cycles most Wednesdays and Thursdays, and we often cycle with them. Brenda, my wife, says it's like a moving cocktail party.
And then, friends or relatives who want to be helpful. But then I remember in 98, like my mother and one of my brothers came down from Massachusetts, and they were trying to be helpful, and my mother was like so frightened and stuff, so I was like always calming her down. And then my brother tried to trim the hedges or whatever, and he cut himself. So then we had to go to the emergency room and wait several hours with him. But and then a friend came up from Richmond, and she tried to fix my faucet or something, but she forgot to turn the water off, and so I wasn't home from the hospital yet. And then when I got home, this other friend said, so sit down. And she said, don't look up, because the water had come through the ceiling and stuff. And so it was like people who are helpful.
I'm here today for the Prouty I never thought of it for myself. I'm here for everybody else, and for our friend Stu, who Kristen mentioned, and I know a lot of other women who had breast cancer right after me. That it was also nice that what I went through, they were going to be following in my footsteps, following that same path of treatment, and I could give them all the tips and tricks. And I was like, okay, make sure you rinse your mouth with salt water at least twice a day, so you don't get the sores on your tongue. It was like little things.
But when we moved to the Upper Valley, our neighbor turned out to be the person that ran the Prouty. We'd actually heard about the Prouty before that. My wife's sister lives nearby, and she had apprised us because she knows that we're cyclists. So, it was an easy introduction. She got us to help carry the banner around town on the 4th of July a couple of times, and we became pretty good friends.
As far as the Prouty, this is the first year we've done it. We've been up here. We could have done it last year, but we didn't. But anyway, we have a friend who does rowing, but hers got canceled this year. So we decided to try it this year.
Yeah, it's just a very nice, positive, feel-good thing. It's nice seeing the bands as you're on Lime Road or Route 10. Yeah.
We enjoy the cycling. We don't necessarily enjoy cycling in a big group. We did our own route. We're nearly done with the 50 now. we've done a lot of 100-mile rides in our life, but we're slow.
Yeah.
We can't finish 100 miles by the time they want us off the roads here.
Yeah.
So we've done 50 usually. Once we did the 77-mile route. And unless the weather's bad, it's not terribly difficult for us.
Wide open. So I looked back and shut it.
I have some hope. Since I've had my own cancer the last few years, I've done a lot of my own research about what's going on in cancer research. I mean, there's been incremental improvements so that you can live another few months. There are some new treatments coming along, hopefully in a few years, that actually cure the cancer, even advanced like I've got. And I'm hoping they get here before I still am.
Yeah. The other day I was talking to someone, we were just saying how lucky we were in general. I said, yeah, nothing bad has happened to me except my parents died, but I was in my 50s and that was kind of expected. And then later I thought, I had breast cancer, but I didn't even think that was really a bad thing. So I feel like,
you've had great support. Just your life.
I remember the thing that was the best, because nothing really tasted good, but somebody brought fresh corn on the cob that was cut off the ear, and it was like, oh my goodness, it was just so amazing. But it's just these little things.
So just helping people. This is an amazing event.
It is.
So let's kick cancer in the ass and get it out of here.
There we go. I hope that part doesn't get edited.